Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you had a good day yesterday. I had an okay day. So I was right about the A's and Braves over, but Ozuna, yeah, that didn't work out. The Braves only scored one run. I also said I didn't end up betting it, but we talked about the Rays yesterday that they lost. That really didn't work out. But yeah, so let's kind of get into today. Steve will be joining in, I think, around 11:30. We're gonna talk golf prior to him coming on here. So I have not. You guys know we've been absolutely crushing the golf streets. Scottish Open starts at 2 a.m. overnight. I have not taken any bets yet. And then I've kind of gone back and forth on if I want to take the without Scotty or just take Jim. Good morning. If I just want to take them, I don't know. I've kind of gone back and forth on this. I think I'm just gonna take them, even with Scotty included. I think is how I'm going to do this. So, guys that stick out to me. Obviously, this is kind of a completely different situation than anything we've been betting on. Links golf, it's just different. I'm looking for guys that putt well. Don't really hate like the long hitters here either, but definitely need good putters. Mac, what's up? I need good putters and guys that have played well link style before. I think is important. So just off the top, first of all, everyone and their mom is betting Matt Fitzpatrick. I literally any Twitter account that gives out golf picks, I've saw give out Matt Fitzpatrick. So that's probably going to be an avoid for me personally. Tommy Fleetwood never wins, like quite literally has never won on the PGA. But if he's going to win over in Scotland or England or something, Ireland, this would be where he would win in my opinion. So I do kind of like him, but the fact he's only 22-1, like I'm sure this number was better earlier this week, to be honest. If he was 30-1, I would be in on Fleetwood, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if I can do it at 22. So just off the top, I wanted to bet him, but I don't like this number. So that's probably a pass for me. Our old faithful Sepp Straka has played well links before. He's kind of fallen off. Oh God, Mac, don't tell me it's Ludwig week. Oh baby, you gonna do something to me. You know, I'm never gonna say no to Mr. Ludwig Oberg. I'm gonna bet Straka at 50. I know he's kind of let us down the last few times we've bet on him, but overall, he comps pretty well here for me, and I'm comfortable with the 50 number. So Straka is gonna be a play for me. Max Gracerman is like my pick to win. I'm riding Max this week. This guy keeps getting obviously to our benefit. Aldrich beat him the other week. But he keeps getting closer and closer. He is eventually going to win one of these tournaments. And I mean, honestly, like I don't know. I haven't looked into like his historically, like if he's played links golf at all, but overall, comps pretty well. And I just feel like he's going to win at some point. He's played very, very well in strong fields this year too. Like he really hasn't played any of these like garbage events, to be honest. Like he didn't even play last week. Trying to look at his results. This guy's made $7 million playing golf. It's actually insane. Let's see. How can I see his? Here we go. So he was T24 at the Century, T7 at the American Express, T24 at the Genesis, T11 at the Cognizant, T22 at the API. Missed the cut in the Players. Then he was T32 at the Masters, T27 RBC Heritage, T28 at the Zurich. I don't really care much about the Zurich, though. T2 at the Rocket, T23 at the US Open, T25 at the Memorial. Like, he's been like top 20, top 25 in all these tournaments. These are all like really, really good fields. I don't know. I'm going to take a flyer on him. Yeah, he's definitely hot. That's for sure. So I'll take Gracerman, Sepp. I like Nicky Taylor, another guy that we bet a ton. He's 90-1. I think we've bet Nick Taylor, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 times this year. This is one of my guys. Mav McNeely, another guy that's sneaky, played very well this year, and I know Sam is on him, so I'm on. So these are my 4 guys that really stuck out to me. And then I was kind of debating, do I want to take a long shot? I think we could go right back to our boy. Long hitter, good putter. I don't know like if he's played well links before or if he even has that much experience, but I don't know. He kind of like would fit the mold for me here. Or if we went even farther down, there's some other guys that are interesting. These are like the big 4 that I want to bet. So it's kind of like, do we want to take a bigger guy, a bigger name, or do we just take another long shot? That's kind of what I'm debating. I've seen a lot of people bet Ryan Fox this week. I've seen some people bet Harry Hall. Tom Kim. I mean, I don't know if I'm even ready for that, like, sweat. That's just, like, too much for me. Goddard, we've been hitting him. I mean, he would comp pretty well here for me, to be honest, too. I don't know. Just stay tuned. I'll tweet my card out later. I'm definitely going to take these 4. And then I'll take them all T5 as well. And then I'm gonna add a 5th guy. I just don't know if it's gonna be another long shot or if we're gonna go with someone a little shorter odds. I need to think about it. Let me see what their T5 odds are, to be honest. Sepp is 9-1, which is fine. And then McNeely 14-1, Gracerman 16-1, Nick Taylor's 16-1. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go quarter unit on these outrights, and then close to a quarter unit on the T5 as well. And then I'm gonna debate, if we take a bigger name, I probably won't bet them top 5. I'll just like ride them outright. But if I take someone like Aldrich or something, then obviously I'll bet top 5 as well. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Is there any like boosts out there anywhere? Like, I really wanted to get in on some Fleetwood, but yeah, Ludwig is definitely. I mean, I don't like the recent form, but you're never gonna tell me not to bet on him just because he's my favorite golfer. If I didn't bet him and he won this, I would literally lose my mind, to be honest. I would tilt so hard. First round leader. Let me see. I'll take all these guys first round leader as well for like a 1/10 of a unit probably. Let me see. There might be some guys I like specifically for first round leader though. Did they not have this? Like, I don't understand this. Here we go. I mean, excluding all these guys that we're betting here, these 4 guys. Manacero's a little interesting for like a bomb. I don't really see anyone else down here. Manacero's a little interesting. What was that? 110 to 1. I'm a little interested in that. I'll probably just take whatever the 4 here, and then the 5th guy that I end on, and then I might throw like Manacero in there, or maybe I take Fleetwood first round leader because we don't have him outright. That could be a play. I'll take the 45 to 1 for the first round leader. I'm gonna think about it. We'll see. We'll see. Just check. Obviously, I'll post the card later on my Twitter. Probably this evening sometime. I know it starts early overnight, but there'll be plenty of time. I don't know. I wanted to take that. Man, Iga got steamed. Oh my lord. She was like minus 250 yesterday. I wanted to pair her with something yesterday. Let's see. If you guys have a baseball pick, someone give me a baseball money line that we can pair this with. The Astros, what a disaster yesterday the Astros were. How do you give up 10 runs to the Guardians? The Guardians couldn't score 10 runs in like the last month combined, and you let them score 10 runs on you? I mean, what are we doing here? What a like complete joke. Padres could play. Dude, Arizona, what is there something like what is going on with the Diamondbacks? The Diamondbacks are public literally every single night. Every single day I come on the stream, I click whoever the Diamondbacks are playing. It doesn't matter if they're favorites, underdogs, it doesn't matter. The Diamondbacks are public every single night. What is there something like with the Diamondbacks? I don't understand this. And we were betting them a couple weeks ago and hitting on them, but I mean, it's every single night. Like, why is Brandon Pfaadt a public dog? I don't understand this. What has he done to warrant this? I mean, he's been absolutely terrible. 6.47 expected ERA, 50% hard hit rate allowed, 92 average exit velocity allowed. He has below 20% strikeouts. What am I missing here? I don't know. I might. Bro, she just got moved again. 3:30. I might hit this. I might hit Iga. And oh wait, this is that other thing. I see. I see. I don't know if I want to wait till tomorrow though. I hope Ben Shelton beats Sinner. I did not obviously bet on this, but I hope he does. I don't know. I mean, I want to play the Padres tonight. I might just play them by themselves. Do you think Chet was overpaid? I don't know. It's tough for me to gauge that. Like, same price as Paolo, I would say he got overpaid. But then you also have to factor in, like, Paolo signed earlier. So it's like if Paolo signed today, he would get more than Chet, I think. But it's just worked out that it was not the same time. So it's the same, but I don't know. How does anybody? I'm not like super in tuned with this, like the second apron and all this stuff. Like, does anyone know? Like, if you're in the chat, can the Thunder? I wish Frosty was in here because I know he's a big Thunder fan. Like, can they keep all these guys? Because I know like SGA is going to get like $75 million a year, and then they just gave Chet this like extension. Obviously, they get play Jalen Williams. Like, they're not going to be able to keep everyone, right? Like, they're going to have to lose like Caruso or Hartenstein or something. Like, there's no way they can keep all of these guys, correct? I'm a little bit interested in that. Because I'm not saying that they won the title because of those guys, but that was a big factor for them. I would say I don't know, Guru. I go back and forth on Chet. I mean, I think he's very good. I would say he's like he's still the third best player on their team, though, I feel like. I mean, I know what he does defensively, but I still think I'd rather have Jalen Williams. They just need Chet the rest. No, I agree with that, Guru. If they can keep that 3, that's helpful for them. But, like, I know they were younger, but, I mean, they didn't even sniff the finals when it was, like, kinda just those 3 rolling. Like, they needed those supplementary pieces, so they're just gonna have to find them in a different way. Like, if they can't keep Hartenstein and Caruso and, they might just have to find them in another, like, a cheaper version of those guys. But, I mean, they're still gonna be the perennial favorite for the next, like, 5 years in the West, maybe longer. I mean, they're such overwhelming favorites next season. I mean, they're plus 250 to win the title, and they're plus 155 to win the West. I'm still in on the Nuggets, man. I don't know what's going on with Joe Val, but I like all the moves the Nuggets made. Yes, I agree with that, Guru. I do agree with that. So I don't know, like I've been trying to keep up on this. Apparently, like Jonas Valanciunas doesn't want to play for the Nuggets or something, or he doesn't want to play in the NBA anymore. I was like kind of confused. It kind of sounded like he didn't want to play. So from what I saw, if he like decided to leave or something, the Nuggets would just get like their full MLE back or something, which obviously, they could get a good player. I saw a lot of rumors of like them trying to acquire Nikola Vucevic. I don't know if there's like real smoke to that. It's just like what I saw. Because I kind of thought the Joe Val pickup, I thought that was like a good, pickup. Obviously, yeah, he's an upgrade over like DeAndre Jordan as like their bench big. But if he doesn't want to play or he wants to go overseas, I don't know. Maybe they knew that and they were like, this is a way for us to get our full MLE back without. I don't know. I'm sure there was like some chess, not checkers, being played there. I forgot about that Ibaka before Harden thing. Oh my lord. Brings back the memories. I still can't believe obviously it worked out for Thunder fans, but man, I still can't believe that team didn't win, didn't stay together. Westbrook, I have no idea. I feel very confident the Clippers are getting Bradley Beal and probably Chris Paul as well. Westbrook, I have no clue, but like the Nuggets getting rid of Westbrook, I think is a net win. I know Westbrook played fine in the playoffs, but it's still a net victory. Let me see. Let's see what the rumors are right here. I don't know. Bleacher Report has the Kings as a landing spot. That would just be hilarious. Here's Yahoo Sports. New team to watch for Russell Westbrook. What do they got? The Bucks. I mean, okay. The Bucks really aren't like. I mean, that might be good for the Bucks, honestly, because I don't really see them that firmly in the playoff race, even with Giannis and Miles Turner. So I don't know. Denver getting rid of Westbrook is a net win, though. Man, who do we go back to Sam Burns? I'm trying to figure out who I want my last outright to be. Do we go back to the boy? What is this? Like, what tournament is this? Winner without Griot. Man, don't even get me started on that guy. Don't even get me started on that losing in a playoff. Unbelievable. I should have an extra, I don't even know, 30 units. Griot, I can't believe that. Just absolute choker. 3-putt bogey. Shouldn't even have went to a playoff. 3-putt bogey to get to a playoff. And then, yeah, what a bum. I don't know. Steve should be coming on. I don't know when. Pretty soon. I don't know what we're gonna get into today. It's been like 2 weeks since he's been on because we didn't have a stream last week. So who knows? Let's look at baseball for tonight, though. I'm really in on the Padres tonight. I might just nuke them by themselves. I don't understand how I can't. This can't be right. Like, is there someone giving out Diamondback somewhere? Like, why is Brandon Pfaadt a public dog? I guess this doesn't compute in my brain. We're gonna be doing college football preview on the stream as well. Pretty soon, probably next week sometime. Is this square? Like, am I looking at this wrong? I don't understand this. We could probably go back to this over too tonight, to be honest. Go right back to it. I'm gonna take this over again, and then I'm probably just gonna play the Padres by themselves. I still can't believe the Guardians scored 10 runs last night. I was just like, I mean, have they scored 10 runs all season? Let's see. They've scored 7 and 10. They're just dominating the Astros. They've scored 17 runs in the last 2 games. The last time they scored 6 on June 28th. They scored 5 on June 25th. The last time they scored more than 10 or more, they did it once on June 11th, so a month ago. I'm not seeing another time that they did this. Yeah. Oh, nope. April 18th. You have to go all the way back. The Cleveland Guardians have scored 10 or more runs twice since April 18th. Unbelievable. And they tagged Hunter Brown for like, I don't even know, 6 or 7 of them. Baseball makes no sense sometimes. Let's look for home run in this late game again. I mean, like everybody on the A's hit a home run last night. Bryce Elder looks pretty bad here. I mean, it's actually looking really bad. Sinker. He's got a bad sinker too. So we're looking for sinker hitters on the A's. First, Brent Rooker. Finally, he hit a home run yesterday. We've been talking about him on stream for quite some time. He is an elite sinker hitter. Last year, he had a .451 batting average against sinkers, 61% hard hit rate. This year, he's at .344, 52% hard hit rate. I don't know what his odds are. Probably not very good. Yeah, plus 285. That's gross. I want to take it, though, to be honest. Maybe we get a little cheeky and we do something like this. Just for a small little sprinkle, and if we get lucky, we have an 87-1 Fleetwood ticket. This could be the move. And I'll still take a 5th outright, but might just sprinkle this for some fun and see if we can luck into an 87-1 Fleetwood ticket. That would be pretty fun. Although, like, Fleetwood just doesn't win, so it would just be inevitable heartbreak on Sunday. So it's kind of like we need to weigh out if it's worth it or not. Let me look at Spence as well. The Braves, man, I just don't understand them. I thought they were going to be so good coming into the season, and they have really struggled. I'm glad I didn't take any. Like, if I was going to hit futures, the Braves, I really like the Braves and the Tigers. So I would have been correct on the Tigers, but I would have just lost it all back on the Braves because we've really, really struggled. Mitch Spence, 4.06 ERA, 5.01 expected. Pretty bad numbers overall. There's a lot of cutters, almost 50% of the time. It's not great either. There's not just a ton of concrete data, though, on guys against cutters. But let's look at the Braves' expected stats. Matt Olson leads the team, 392 expected WOBA. His actual is 369, so there's some room there. Marcell Ozuna still, I mean, huge gap between his actual and expected. Like, he should get some form of positive regression. And then if we look at Acuna, he's up there as well, 399. I mean, it's one of the best hitters in the league. So I'm looking at Ozuna or Olson against cutters. Ozuna last year had really good numbers, actually. 350 expected batting average, 55% hard hit rate. This year, 342 expected batting average, 71% hard hit rate. I don't know. Maybe we go right back to the Ozuna well. Olson's going to have a worse price. I think we just go back to this. I like Ozuna and Rooker again, home runs in this game. Let me check their price as well. We'll look at the hits, runs, RBIs price. Rooker's going to be pretty juicy, I would imagine. Let me see. Yeah, Rooker's, I mean, he's not even listed at 1.5. He's at 2.5. But Ozuna, I mean, we can get it around that same price, minus 120 for 1.5. I might look into that again. He got hooked last night. He just had one hit, unfortunately, but maybe go back to the well. All right, Steve's in here. I'm going to bring him in. Steve, how we doing? It's been 2 weeks. We didn't have a stream last week, so we need to get caught up. How are things going?
It feels like forever. Like, it's funny because, throughout the week, I'm like, oh, this is something we should talk about in the pod. This is something we should talk about. So now we've got 2 weeks. My mind is just scattered with all the things we need to discuss. So
Yeah,
it's going
there's been a
well.
lot going on.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get started here.
Yeah, me too. There's been a ton going on. NHL and NBA, like free agency and all that stuff's been going on. Obviously, baseball kind of in full swing. Golf is going. I mean, we've been on fire on the stream with the golf picks. So that's been going on. And obviously stuff going on with Rolling Insights as well with the new website up and rolling. Draft kit coming, rankings coming, all that good stuff. Like we're in I know there's tons going on right now.
Well, it's interesting because 3 weeks to the Hall of Fame game and then 5 weeks until the
Yes.
first NFL game. So every year it's the same thing. For us, this is obviously our slowest period because we've only got darts, PGA, and MLB. And so you feel like you can get all this work done, kind of get caught up, get ready for the next year. But you have 6 weeks, and then it starts getting going again. So, and even this year, we had a bunch of companies on the data feed side that wanted NFL schedules, et cetera, earlier than we've ever put them together. Some of them are running best ball tournaments, so contests. So it's a busy period, and there's a lot to talk about in sports right now. There's a lot going on,
100%.
especially in baseball.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Come on,
I was
man.
waiting for that. Yeah.
Never doubted them for a minute. Not 1 minute.
Yeah, they are trying to see. I mean, 54-38 is insane. What are they on, a 10-game win streak?
I think it's at 11 now because they won last night. They got rained out last night and got the victory. 6 innings in, 6-1. It wasn't a doubt, really. They were going to lose that game against the White Sox. But yeah, they're looking good. And so the interesting thing about it, and again, we'll go back to some of our conversations had previously about Shapiro and Atkins. The cupboards look dry, no prospects, etc. And then they have a bunch of these guys that seem like found money. And the crazy part is it's not like one guy. You got Brent Rooker up there in your to hit a home run. The A's last year had a bit of found money. Abraham Toro, Brent Rooker, and then JJ Belede, who JJ has high pedigree, so he should be good. Who's actually been terrible this year. But when you look at the Jays down the lineup, they're getting production from everybody. So even if one of these guys ends up not turning out or going cold, like it would require all of them to go cold at once for this to slow down. I'm sure it'll slow down, but I mean stop. So it's a good sign, and they've always had good pitching. So we're very high in Blue Jay land right now. I got one of my group chats, all these guys are putting down futures for World Series. I was like, okay, whoa, pump the brakes here.
Yeah, but I mean, I never would have expected them. I mean, wild card, sure. Like before the season, any baseball team can theoretically. I mean, we'll take like the White Sox out of it, but for the most part, any baseball team can get hot and get in the wild card, especially with the extra team that they added recently. So I would have said, sure, they'll be in that wild card range, but to be, we're into getting to the middle of July and they're leading the AL East. I never would have, predicted that. And yeah, I mean, Vladdy started slow, but underlying numbers look really good. George Springer has had like a complete
You know, I'm
resurgence.
going to share my screen. I got it up right now too.
Yeah, go for it. George Springer's had a complete resurgence. I mean, Addison Barger has been on fire. That guy, I mean, out of nowhere. So I can't believe George Springer is someone I was always like a big fan of. And I'm glad to see that he's not just gonna like fade into the abyss. Like he's actually, having kind of like a second wind in his career here. Because he was
Well,
pretty
and he's
bad
healthy.
last year at times, yeah.
The whole thing with George Springer is it's health. Like he trots himself out there every single night because he gives it all. But so frequently, he's banged up. He slides in the set, runs to second, and he pulls up lane. He still plays the game. Maybe he comes out for half the game. Then he's back the next game. But you can just tell that it's just, he's banged up. Right now, you don't see an ounce of that. He looks healthy. He looks confident. He's firing all cylinders. And I found it crazy that he didn't get added to the All-Star game, even with some of the, even as a replacement pick. Like, to me, that's an absolute travesty.
No, I completely agree. I would have thought he for sure would have got added in.
So the other thing I did want, this is my batter ranking. Addison Barger. So the funny part is I didn't pick him up in either of my competitive leagues this year, season-long competitive leagues. I was looking at him in both of them. And I have a rule that I don't pick, or I really have to look hard in the mirror picking guys on my teams because we overinflate the value of them. And so I was looking at him. I was like, is this the second coming of Jose Bautista? Is this Joey Bats 2.0? Addy Bats?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been on fire, dude.
And he looks like an absolute gym monkey out there. Like he has a ton of power. He's playing great, playing good defense. Like, so again, is this Jose Bautista? Like, kind of came out of nowhere, and then figured it out a little bit later in his career, and then went on to be an absolute legend.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like for betting. I mean, he's been hitting home runs left and right, and extra base hits, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's got good power. So yeah, I'm high on them. The other funny thing is, so in my other expert league draft where I had the foible in the early picks, which really hurt my season. I just had some drafting malfunctions. One of the guys I was going to pick was Santander in the second round, and this is a keeper draft, so that's like round 5. And boy, am I glad I didn't do that because
Yeah,
he
he's like the
really is.
one. He's like the one guy that hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah, yeah. Him, and obviously Varsho is injured. Santander is injured, but it's funny they get Varsho out of the lineup where they spent a lot on getting by trading Marino, but hasn't really turned out. Hasn't he is a bit of a versatile guy, so I think that being that switch knife might be valuable when he gets healthy again. But they expected him to perform, and they haven't needed him at all.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
where do you like? Obviously not World Series, like you said, but if you could pick today, where would you have them going?
That's a good question.
It's so funny, like the leaders. I mean, the Tigers, I was high on coming this season, but it's just funny to see them like 59 and 34, and then the Astros just do what the Astros do every single year and win baseball games, and then the Blue Jays, like that's your division leaders in the American League. It's pretty funny.
Where's MLB? Yeah, I don't think I have the conferences in this, but yeah, like if you look at it, like it's pretty wild. Jays are up there at the top. I don't know, like, can they beat some of these teams?
I mean, what
Probably.
Cleveland went to the ALCS last year, correct? And
Yeah.
got beat, but still, nobody thought they were even going to be good coming into the season. So the Blue Jays could certainly do the same thing,
Yep.
and maybe
Conference
they don't get to
championship.
the World Series, but they could get to the ALCS for sure.
I think so for sure.
So do you see them like making any big moves? I know like Joe Ryan, I've heard floated out there. I don't know if you've heard any differently, just being, in Canada, I guess.
Well, they've talked a little bit about pitching depth. So guys who don't throw swing and miss, but can munch innings. So, potentially someone that could, like Merrill Kelly was one that they were talking about. Who was the other guy that they were mentioning? Drawing a blank right now. He's one of those, great fantasy guys because he never ends up really sticking on anybody's team, and he's always available on the waiver wire. Doesn't get crushed, and normally can put up semi decent numbers. I'm drawing a complete blank right now. It's funny because I was thinking about this yesterday. So I think there's a few guys that are out there. I don't expect them to pay a ton and go push all the chips in for a couple of reasons. They don't need to yet. This is kind of like found money. And let's say Ernie Clement and Addison Barger and other guys, end up being real. You got a pretty good core there, pretty good offensive core, and you can keep developing some of your other prospects, which that cupboard is not stocked full right now. So you wouldn't really, in my opinion, want to go out and sell a bunch, sell your future for some of these short-term, attempts to win it today, because those other guys will be around for a little bit longer, and conceivably will get better. Like Ernie Clement isn't that old, so they could get better. The will they add any bats? I don't think so, but I think they could add some relievers and some depth pitching.
I would say like I don't know. I go back and forth on this. I feel like maybe you strike while the iron's hot, though, only because like would they have a chance to beat, let's say, the Dodgers in the World Series in a series? Probably not. But when I look at Cleveland and where they were last year, I mean, Cleveland made no moves of consequence whatsoever. If anything, they made negative moves in the offseason. But they're coming off an ALCS appearance, and now they've just completely fallen off the board. They did nothing to address this in the offseason, and now they're flat out terrible. So, like if you would have asked anyone last year coming off the ALCS, like you would have thought maybe they don't win the division. The Tigers were ascending. Maybe they get back in the playoffs though. Like they're not going to make the playoffs. They stink. So what? Like that's why I'm like maybe kind of strike while the iron's hot and go for it. But that's just not how these teams get ran, unfortunately. So I do agree. I think even Joe Ryan is probably a little bit out of like the Blue Jays league of something that they would go acquire, but I would be all for them, trying to do it.
Yeah, it's exciting when that happens, when teams push it all in. But I will say that, and this is the same thing I say in hockey all the time. As I grow old, Ben, my opinion changes. In the beginning, I was like, you need to win a championship. You need to push all the chips in, and you need to kind of have that short, acute window. And then, I look at it from a hockey perspective. Like, let's look at you know, let's say Nashville was kind of like that. The Edmonton Oilers are kind of like that in hockey, where they've pushed their chips in and the window is small and then they don't win. And then you look at a team like Tampa, who they were really, really bad, didn't push all the chips in, were very smart in a lot of the decision making, had the advantage of being in a tax friendly state, but they kept that window open for as long as possible. And then they got it done, and they got it done twice. So I'm a bit more of the don't push it all in. Just try to hang around as long as you can. And one year you get the right combination of things happening within your team, And in baseball, things not happening properly with another team. Like you said, hey, maybe they don't beat the Dodgers. I think they could beat the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers don't have very good pitching this year. The Dodgers have a lot of injuries amongst their pitchers. Why can't they beat the Dodgers? So
Yeah,
my
yeah. I don't disagree. It's just like unlikely. But I would rather take like I'd rather get there and have a chance than losing the divisional series and be like, oh man, if we would have just made that one move at the deadline, maybe we would have got over the hump. Like I'd rather take my chances than not.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get it. Like I get that. That's fun. It's exciting. When the Jays did it back in was it 2015 when they got Tulo and Spider-Man. I always forget his name. David can't believe I can't remember his name. I'm just like
Tulowitzki,
drawing.
that's one of my OG, like
Yeah.
it's one of my OG favorites.
When they went and got a bunch of those guys and they pushed all the chips in, and that was exciting. I went to many of those playoff games. It was very exciting. It was awesome. They didn't win. And they remortgaged for that, and it cost them afterwards because that window was relatively short. The only thing I would say on that front is they didn't keep that window open very long. They had an opportunity to kind of like, push the chips in one more time and then really make the organization bad. And they didn't do that. And I think they should have done that. Like if you're going to go in, you got to go all in. If you're going to hang around and wait for the right pot, using the poker analogy, then yeah, you want to be really smart. But if you're going all in, you want to sell every single cookie in the cupboard.
Yeah. But I mean, they're I don't know where they would rank among, farm systems, but it's
I don't
not
think
like
it's very good.
that's what I'm saying. It's not like them going all in versus a team that's a top 5 farm system going all in. I think it's a different situation because it's not like you're giving up. Like you're already bottom of the barrel farm system anyways.
The problem with the Jays, though, and this is something we've talked about previously, is they are bottom of the barrel farm system when they shouldn't be because they're coming
Yeah.
off the back end of the rebuild. And so they should have tons of talent. But Shapiro and Atkins,
Yeah, MLB.com
uh,
has them ranked 27th right now.
yeah.
They only have 2 top 100 prospects. They're both outside the top 80. So
So
so like them going all in though, like that's different than a team with like 8 top one. Like the Tigers have like 6 guys in the top 100 and they've got like 5 guys in the top 30. Like them going all in versus someone like the Jays going all in, it's a little bit different just
but
because.
if you look at the age of the team, this is where I'll disagree with you. If you look at the age of the team, Vladdy's still relatively young, entering his prime, just signed a big deal. Bo is back healthy, um, essentially the same age as Vladdy. Uh, their pitching is a little bit older. Barrios isn't old, but Gosman and obviously Max Scherzer is 106 years old. I think the age of the team makes it a little bit harder to justify pushing it all in. Because then what happens? So you have 2 good years, 2 chances, maybe you push all the chips in. And then you've got 10 years of Vladdy when they're terrible. And I don't think they have any plans. Like the one thing, if you look at the economics of a sporting franchise, you really want to have that one superstar that you can market around. So even if you're mushy middle and you've got that one guy, they're going to make money. If you're really, really bad and that guy wants to leave, you've got a problem. And we see that in Calgary in hockey. Like
Mhm.
all those guys laugh, and there's like I'm a season ticket holder trying to sell games now, even though they had like the highest point total for a team that missed the playoffs ever last year. It was impossible to resell tickets. So there's no superstars. There's no one to market around. So I think the franchise, from an economic perspective, they look at that, they take that very seriously, because as an operator who's in the business every single day, it's tough when you suck and you're losing money.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm looking at your team ranking here, and I'm just laughing because we've talked a few times on this stream about another AL East team, the Red Sox. And, I was talking about them, 2-1 to make the playoffs or whatever that was. And then the odds got even better because they traded Rafi Devers after I said to bet them to make the playoffs. And they're still just one game out. They're one game out of the wild card right now. They're firmly in the mix to, get in a playoff spot. And they clearly have just underperformed. We've talked about their terrible record in one-run games.
Exactly.
They're like top 7 on your team ranking here, and they're barely over 500. Like, it's insane how much they've underperformed.
Yeah. Well, and like I think they'll regress to the mean. Like the wins will come. Like,
yeah, that's why I thought it was good to jump in on them, and then it got even better when they traded Devers.
Yeah. So I completely agree. And if you put them in that group, like the Jays have like shot up the list. The Red Sox were kind of always on this list. I forget where they were previously. But they always had better metrics than their win total. The Jays are catching them. But the Yankees are falling, and it's shocking to me that the Orioles are at the bottom.
Yeah, just a
Like
night and day difference from last year to this year.
it's crazy because I thought they were going to be terrible this year. That finally, like, old man Winter was going to catch up with the Rays. No stadium, no money. They're not going to hit on all these prospects. Wander Franco scandal, and they're above average. They're above the standard deviation. Just crazy. They're right
Yeah,
behind the Jays. So, that's the one thing that kind of scares me, is just the division that they play in.
100%. I mean, all those teams, even in your team ranking, I mean, you have the Yankees, you have the Blue Jays, Rays, all right there. Red Sox as well. So
But imagine the Yankees don't make the playoffs.
I would be all for that. I think that would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious seeing some of the reaction videos that are out right now of their recent poor play. I don't know if you've seen the one. I don't know who the guy is, but he's spitting all over the lens.
Yeah, I have I don't root. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with the Yankees. I don't know how to convey this to people because I don't like the Yankees. I don't root for the Yankees in any capacity. But at the same time, as a baseball fan, nothing feels like more baseball to me than putting on the Yankee game. I don't know why. If it's just because growing up, they had obviously Jeter and all those guys. So I don't know. I've never rooted for them. I actively root against them in the playoffs because I think it's hilarious when their fans get all mad and their fans think that they're going to win every year and they never do. But I want the Yankees to be good, but I don't want them to win the World Series. It's more fun when you get the Yankees in the playoffs and they lose and their fans go crazy than to just miss the playoffs. But it's so funny, man. I love it.
It is. I completely agree. Just the New Yorker, persona, and then the reactions is just hilarious. And the funny part is, if you had all the money, you often have the best players, you almost always have a good team. You think you'd be a little bit more, you'd carry it better, a bit more practice, a little calmer when things go sideways for a little bit, but not Yankees fans.
I mean, look, we can call a spade a spade. The Yankees are teetering on Dallas Cowboy territory here. They haven't won since 2009. We are getting, if you go another 5 years of no ring for the Yankees, they're just essentially the Dallas Cowboys. They haven't been, they haven't won in how long? I don't what else to say. It's just a fact.
Dallas Cowboys, Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Knicks.
The Knicks and the Yankees are very fitting to be in the same city. They both have not won in quite some time. I mean, 2009 is not that long ago. We're talking 16 years, but still, there's
A long time.
There's kids driving that have never seen the New York Yankees win a World Series. That is a fact.
That's a really long time when you have all the money and all the people want to go there, and you get all the good players.
The Cowboys is longer though, because that's like back to the '90s. So that's another
But
10 years on top.
and the Cowboys are their own different type of special. But they haven't had all the players. Like they don't get
Yeah.
all the good guys.
No, I'm with you. I think it's hilarious they haven't won since 2009.
Yeah, I think it's great too.
Like if you would have told Yankees fans or just baseball fans in general, like let's go like when the 2010 season was starting. So the Yankees are defending champions. If you would have said the New York Yankees are not going to win a World Series championship for the next 16 years, I don't think anyone would have believed you. Like you could have got insane 1,000-to-1 odds on that probably at the time.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Yeah, but baseball's a funny sport.
Oh, it
Again,
is.
you got 32 teams, you got this janky playoff format that, you got to be hot at the right time. And those Arizona Diamondbacks, they almost won it.
Yeah. That
Right up
was
there at the top again. Second team.
that was like the birth of my Diamondbacks hat that I wear. I had a bet on them to make the playoffs. They were like plus 190 to make the playoffs before the season, and we had a big bet on that. And then they went all the way to the World Series. That like birthed my Diamondbacks fandom. Not that I
Have you
am
ever,
a
have you
fan
ever
of
been
them, but
to have you ever been to a game there? Have you ever been to
I've never been to
chance?
Arizona.
Oh man, it's great. It's
I
great.
would like to make that trip. I'd like to go to a Suns game, to be honest. I'm not really like a Suns fan, but it looks pretty cool. I think I'd be in on that.
I I haven't been to a Suns game. Um, I don't know what it is. The NBA just isn't a huge in-person draw to me. I saw LeBron versus the Raps, and I was absolutely amazed at the sheer size of him compared to everybody else.
Mhm.
Like TV doesn't do it justice. When you're there in person, you just see how big he is compared to everyone. Not height wise, but just height and build. But if it just feels really far away and it feels very lifeless um, in a regular season game. I'm sure a playoff game, especially this last playoff run, they would have been pretty wild.
Yeah.
But a Tuesday in Phoenix, that'd be a tough game. Tough,
I
good
don't know where
popcorn,
they
hopefully.
yeah, I don't know where they rank in attendance, but I don't know. The pictures I've seen of like the arena and stuff always look cool.
Yeah. No, it would be good. When they were good, it was good.
Um yeah, they're like let me look at last year. They're like middle of the pack. I'm surprised. I can't believe the Cavs do so well in attendance, man. Like people don't understand. The Cavs have like one of the best in-game atmospheres that you could go to. If you wanted to go to a basketball game, the Cavs have one of the best. It's not even close. They're like
Well,
that's like small market, and they're like routinely top 6, 7 in attendance every single year.
and is that it? Is it because it's a small market and it's the only kind of ticket in town?
Yeah, that definitely could be. They do well. Like the arena is very nice. Like they've renovated that in recent years. Like, very very nice. It's right in downtown, so you can easily get to everything else around there, and it's literally. I don't know if have you ever been to like I'm sure you've been to Cleveland. I don't know if you've been to the
Just
stadiums, but
no.
they're almost connected. Like the Cavs arena is basically connected to the casino, and then it's like very like across the street from the baseball stadium. So everything is right in that same vicinity.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like those kind of sporting complexes where they're kind of all, they're their own district essentially.
Mhm.
I think that leads to significantly better fandom,
Yeah.
and especially if you've got it downtown.
Yeah.
Like you can revitalize the whole neighborhood, like they did that in Edmonton, like where the arena is in Edmonton. Um, I briefly worked up there and had to go to like our office was right by there, and it was terrifying. Uh, but now it's completely been, gentrified and rejuvenated, and the arena is the centerpiece, but then they've got all these restaurants and kind of a square around it, and then you still have a few kind of walking zombies in the area, but they're kind of pushed out by a lot of the positive energy. So entering in that area can still be a bit sketchy, but
Yeah. During the when the Cavs were good that last LeBron run, like 2017, 2018, it was always fun because the baseball games would start at like 6:10, and then the basketball games would be like 7:38. So you could just go and, go to the baseball game and then just walk across the street to go to the basketball game, a little like halfway through or towards the end of the baseball game.
oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that's
fun.
wild. So that would be like a baseball playoff game, and then head over to.
No, it would be basketball playoffs, but like
Oh,
basketball
gotcha, gotcha.
playoffs, but so that'd be like May-ish, so early season baseball, and then um playoff
I was thinking
basketball.
October. I was like,
Yeah.
that would
I'm
be
sure
pretty
that I'm
wild.
sure that aligned a couple times because the Guardians have made like deep runs a few times. I'm sure I never did
Yeah,
that though, but like in the summer we would you go to the baseball game and then walk over to the basketball game after.
yeah, very cool. Okay, how do have you been watching my team recently?
I
Given
have, and I made a
the J-
goal. Oh, I made a mistake, Steve. I
what did you
feel
do?
I feel so bad. I feel disappointed. I left someone in my lineup that's injured.
Oh,
That's a golden mistake for me, man. I
that's
feel I talked all
the
the smack about this Yahoo guy, and then I made the same mistake. I'm sorry.
you made a huge rookie
I
mistake.
did. I did. Yeah. I just like it never even crossed my mind. Like coming back from Chicago on Thursday, and then it was like right into like the holiday weekend, and it just never even crossed my mind that I needed to switch that out. I have
So
Spencer Schwellenbach injured, and my pitchers are all just completely dead. I mean, my three best pitchers gone. I have no chance of anything. Schwellenbach, Michael King, Roki Sasaki, they're all done.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
you're
I
getting hit
still have
with the
Hunter
injury bug.
Brown, but I mean, even he gets lit up last night by the Guardians somehow.
Yeah, it's funny though because like I said previously, like when you fall behind in these leagues, it's tough to catch up. You've dropped a spot.
Yeah, I did, and it's really tough for me to overcome the pitching thing, just because we like that was my strategy was to wait on pitchers because they're gonna get hurt anyways, and then of course like my top three of my top four get hurt. There's just nothing I can even do about it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, I think you can cycle through some pitchers here.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we quickly switch gears out of batters, so we'll see who's available on the waiver wire, and then your guys. So like Dean, they're playing better. Dean Premier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his with a little bit of a French accent. Dean Premier, he's serviceable. He's gonna get some more wins. Doesn't have as many strikeouts.
No, he's not a strikeout arm,
But his whip isn't terrible. His ERA is not great, but it's not terrible. It's not going to sink you.
yeah. Brandon Fott, he's been terrible. I mean, he's got wins, but just bad.
Yeah, well, and he got it. He was way better at the start of the year,
Yeah,
and then he's kind
just
of
fell
fallen
off.
off.
Yeah, it's just rough. Rough go in the pitching streets for me. Luis Ortiz, that guy. Did you see that whole drama with him?
Was he? He was gambling or something?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we work in the industry, so like the whatever it is, like
Yeah.
the integrity people flagged, large wagers being placed on two particular pitches, and they were placed on the pitches to be a ball. Like his first pitch of an inning multiple times. And then Steve, I don't know if you saw it. These pitches, they
Another
weren't,
one.
they weren't even close. Like he just lobbed it in. It's so bad.
It was like he rolled it on the ground. The one of them, like he just threw it in the dirt and rolled it in the ground. I was like, that wasn't even a pitch.
I told the stream on Friday when I streamed, I said, when these, I don't know his ethnicity, whether he's Dominican or Venezuelan, whatever. I don't know. But when those guys get mixed up with this type of thing, I actually worry for their safety because it makes no sense, like, why you would do that. So my head goes to, like, someone, like, is like, "I kidnapped your family," or, "I'm gonna hurt your family. So, we're gonna bet on this, and you do this," and, like, that's where my head goes, because I've heard horror stories of these guys, and it's like, I don't know what other reason you would have to do that.
Well, I remember the Colombian soccer player own goal and they killed him.
Yeah, and it's like, he could have made it a little less obvious, though, like
He could have definitely, he just wanted to make sure that, like, but he could have thrown, like, here's the thing, you could have thrown like a high fastball, because that's
Yeah.
believable. But throwing like a changeup into the dirt that just rolls into the backstop, no.
Alright, he's from the Dominican Republic, so, again, I don't know, I don't have any information on this. I just worry when I see this stuff. It's like, what reason would he have to do that other than someone, like, threatening him or blackmailing him?
I don't know. Like, there is, a weird addiction to this type of stuff. It's the thrill of winning it. But I also say, was this a cry for help? Like, was he saying, "Someone please help me"? Because that throw was terrible. So yeah, maybe his
And
family is
the
being
body
held
language,
hostage.
like, along with it was like,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was.
it was
This
a
is a
weird
cry for
situation.
help. He was saying, "Please help me, my family. They've been
Yes.
taken hostage." This is all speculation for those watching. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
based on
It's just
fact at
that's
all.
when I see this, that's where my head goes, because I can't wrap my head around it other than
I
that.
completely agree. Why would you risk making millions of dollars to
Yeah,
make
because
like tens
you
of thousands of dollars on a
and
stupid
you're gonna
in-game
get
bet?
caught, like, these guys get caught left and right now.
Yeah.
People
I,
will notice a $200,000 being bet on one pitch randomly when there's no other activity on any of your other pitches.
and again, what is the reward?
I know, I don't know, I don't understand it.
Like Shane Pinto being an idiot and lending his account to someone as a runner. Okay, I could kind of get that. Like, you're just not thinking, and you're like, "Oh, I'll just do a favor to somebody." That one I kind of get. You're just not thinking. But this stuff, like you said, the one in basketball, I can't remember that guy's name. That stuff doesn't make sense unless someone is
Oh,
coercing
Michael
them.
Porter's brother?
Yeah, coercing them into doing this. Like, there's some manipulation that's going on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
I don't know
Okay,
if you
back to
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, back to pitchers though. Let's try to solve your pitching problem. But I don't know if you've got another comment on the gambling, but
No, well, it was a different story, but we can say that for another day. Go ahead.
so looking at your pitchers, like, I think there's a few options here that you could.
I've always been a fan. People who follow me know. If you're in the stream, you probably know. But Dean Creamer, that's one of our OG. Like, we used to.
Yeah, Dean Kremer.
It's one of our guys. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, yeah. That might be the pick. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it like Griffin Canning is another one of those guys. He's injured right now, but like, he's another one of those guys that's just like always available and ends up turning out a half decent performance. Isn't
He was
terrible.
highly touted. He just never
Yeah,
developed into
never
what
turned
he
into
was
it.
supposed to. But he has
Uh,
pedigree.
I had Gusto streaming a bit this year. I did stream him into one game and he got absolutely shelled. Can't remember which game it was. But Astros could be
Hmm.
an option.
Yeah, I might have to just grab two. I mean, I have to grab two of these guys, anyways.
Colin Ray on the Cubs. Cubs, good team. Colin Ray, again, one of those guys always on the wire. Numbers not bad. Somehow he has a save. We should check that stat. That might not be right. Just
He might.
doesn't throw any strikeouts. But he's gonna get wins. Bailey Falter's numbers are good, but he's probably not going to get many wins. So I think there's a few guys out there that could help you.
He does have a save.
Wow, how did that happen?
I don't know. I'd have to go dive into that, but he
They
does.
just like trotted him out there
I guess maybe they had
accidentally.
they had no other
They're
option.
like,
I think he
Kevin,
started
get
off.
out there.
He started off
He's-
in the bullpen. I think at the beginning of the
Start
year.
of the year. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it probably came.
Because he played for the Brewers last year, right? He's a
I
starter
believe
for the
so.
Brewers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Walker Bueller.
Oh man, that
He's
guy.
been bad this year, though.
Yeah, what happened to him, man? He I mean, I know he's had a long road back from, a lot of injuries and all that stuff, but the way he performed in the World Series, I thought that really, would set the tone for him coming into this year and like kind of bouncing back, but that has not been the case whatsoever.
No, and sometimes those guys will, injury, bad season, and then they're back. Saquon Barkley comes to mind. I know it's a different sport. I don't know about Bueller though. Bueller might be done. How old is Bueller? Do we have that data in this?
I'm trying to look. So he went 5 innings, no runs, 5 Ks in game 3 of the World Series. And then he came in and got the save, I'm pretty sure, in the final game, game 5. Pitched an inning with 2 strikeouts. Like, I really thought that would like set the tone for him. I don't think he's really old. I think he's like my age.
He's 94. He's a 94.
Okay, he's a year older than me.
Yeah. So he's not a young spring chicken anymore.
No, but he still got a couple years.
Yeah. So maybe he'll bounce back. Like the other thing is change of scenery, because he had a big contract too, wasn't it? Wasn't this a big?
It was sizable.
Yeah. So I don't know, but like his strikeouts are relatively fine. I don't know if you have his advanced pitching statistics up. Maybe he's pitching fine. He's just getting a little unlucky.
I can take a look.
He was probably on the wrong end of a few of those 1-run games, but he still has 6 wins.
His underlying stats aren't good, but they're not as bad as his. Like his ERA is 6.25. The expected ERA is 5.11. So there's like a run better. He's not giving up any more hard hits than he usually does.
Walking more guys because his whip is.
Yeah, walk rate is definitely up. It's basically a career high, 9%.
Yeah, a couple of missed pitches, a little bit different wind, bad umping. Yeah. Okay. All right.
His cutter. So last year, his cutter, he gave up a 238 batting average with, and this year he's giving up a 400 batting average with it, and he's throwing it, more than he did even last year. So that could probably attribute to some things. I don't know. He needs to tweak that pitch mix up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, different catcher.
Yeah, and different team, like that definitely could just play into it. I mean, honestly, nothing really looks different other than like that. I'd have to go I'd have to like dive in a little bit more, but
that would be an interesting pick then, because sometimes these guys can figure it out halfway through the season.
Yeah.
The team figures it out, but the player also figures it out. And
I mean, he'll never get back to like pre-injury, like 279 expected ERA, 28% strikeout rate, 29% strikeout rate. But even last year, like he was great in the postseason last year, but the numbers 474 expected ERA. That's not far off what it is this year. Like it's virtually the same. It's just
you just got to get him up to Dean Kremer level.
Yeah,
that's all you're looking for.
Yeah, we should get Dean Kremer on the stream here. I'm gonna reach out. I have some people that used to. Okay, I don't even know. Like, do you know who Josh Van Meter is? I don't know if he still like follows me. He followed me on Twitter. He was a big fantasy football player back then. He used to play for the Reds.
I don't know. I'm gonna message. I do know him. Yeah.
I'm gonna message him and ask if he knows Dean Kremer. If he can hook me up with him.
Be like, we need to get him on the pod.
I need to get Dean Kremer on the video.
He might be a little bit offended by the pronunciation of his name.
Maybe he'll like it though. Maybe it's like a little like maybe he likes it.
He likes a little international, but I think my pitching feels better than yours right now.
Yes, I would agree with this. It's not
But I
even a
don't.
debate now. These
But I
guys
don't
have been
think
hurt.
it's. Yeah, Sonny Gray
Wow, he's
still.
actually an Israeli American.
Dean Kramer.
Yeah,
Hmm.
interesting.
But that's not bad. Like Barrios has been a lot better lately. But he's better than both of those guys. JP Sears, Eovaldi. Eovaldi's was injured for a little bit, so he's probably this doesn't take into account any game per game performance. Yeah, Eovaldi's strikeout rate's way higher.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like I'm making a comeback here.
Oh yeah, you are. I mean, like I said, if we could combine our teams, we'd be fine. Be really good.
Plus 8.5. It's a huge
Yeah,
week.
dude, you're up to 12th. I mean, you were battling Yahoo at one point for that last spot. It's not even a debate now. You've blown
That
past
was the motivation. The
it.
guy who
Was
wasn't playing was almost beating me.
the guy who hadn't set his team since the draft was when it was close to you. That was an issue.
But yeah, no. The other thing that I thought was crazy was these guys were at the top forever.
Yeah, they were high up there.
They had first overall pick, so they've sunk like Joe Pesci cement feet. Goodfellas.
I'm still calling out that Yahoo guy. He's ducking me, but he needs to answer.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to look at was so Anthony Anateo. I think he's if we come in and look at his team, what makes his team so good?
He's got I mean, Scoob was carrying him, which he took high.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to risk taking a picture high, but I mean, can't go wrong with him.
He's got a little bit lucky on a few guys like Jack Flaherty's been really good.
Yeah.
Ranger Suarez. I didn't expect that. I thought he was old and not going to perform. Then again, I picked
Well,
Sonny Gray.
Will Warren was really, really hot, like to start too. He's kind of fallen back a little bit, but I mean, he had like 2 months of really good Will Warren too.
Well, and he picked up Quinn
Yeah.
Prestier,
Former
who's been
top
pretty good.
prospect for the Pirates. I actually saw his major league debut in person.
It reminds me of the day that I went to see Paul Skeens and
Oh man. I don't know if the chat knows this story, but Steve went on Father's Day. It was in Coors Field, and you were taking your father to see Paul Skeens?
No, taking my son to his first baseball game.
Steve was taking his
father-son moment
to see Paul Skeens at Coors Field on Father's Day, and they got to the ballpark to learn that Paul Skeens had been scratched because they didn't want him to pitch at altitude, and he was pitching the next day, so he did not get to see Paul Skeens.
Yeah. So they pushed him to Cincinnati the next day, and some hapless individual in Cincinnati.
Oh man,
got to watch Paul Skeens.
So funny. Is that going to be your nemesis now forever? It's Paul Skeens is your nemesis.
It's gonna be like it's like the girl who got away. It's like like my heart is broken. It's gonna be more about a broken heart than it is.
You should send a letter to the Pirates office. Maybe they'll give you like a fridge magnet or something.
I really should. That would be pretty funny. If
and it'd be even funnier now if you penned it now because it was like a year ago. Like it would be even funnier. Like it still resonated with you over a year later.
Dear Pirates, this is still bothering me.
Please, what could they do? What gesture could the Pirates give you that would make up for that? Is there anything
they offered? Didn't they offer like season tickets for life to the 1-for-1 Paul Skeens rookie cards?
I think they offered him cash and season tickets for life, and then behind home plate, and then I think also 1 game a year you get like a suite or something too.
Yeah, it's still nothing compared to what the guy could sell it for.
Yeah, why? I would just sell it. I mean, it was like a
Yeah.
kid though, so I don't know. Maybe he took that. I don't know. Did he ever take that offer? But
No,
what
no, I
what
think
if they called you and they were like, Steve, we want to make up for that? What could they give you that would make you feel better?
what would make me feel better? Not this year, but the next time we go to the Fantasy Football Expo, fly into Pittsburgh,
Okay.
go to a game, and watch Paul Skeens pitch.
Not even throw out the first pitch. They just accommodate you with coming to the game.
I don't want the responsibility of a first pitch. I look like Alvin Kamara out there, Luis
Oh,
Ortiz trying to throw a ball.
who is that? Who is Alvin Kamara? Is that who did it so bad they asked to do it again? Like just recently?
He did. They like, can I do that again? They're like, no, it's one pitch, Alvin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah,
You're supposed to practice on the side before you come out.
I
But like
think
some
I
of those,
could do that pretty well.
yeah, I think that you'd be fine to throw a ball
Yeah, I think
from
I
the
could.
mound. Like
I used to
it's
pitch when I
shocking.
played baseball. So,
Well, even you just lob it in there.
yeah, you're not looking to bring heat here. You're just toss it.
Like burying it into the dirt is just weird. But I guess that like those guys are so bulky up top that
Some guys do that on purpose, though. There's a guy in Cleveland that he's like a content creator around here, and he did it on purpose. He got the first pitch at the Guardians game, and he like it. You could so tell it was on purpose. Like he like fell like really like it was
so
like
he
not.
could.
It was very obvious that he like purposely fell over when he was throwing it. Like I guess just to get like a viral clip, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. Seems like you kind of want to paint yourself in
Yeah, I
a
would
good
rather
light,
just do a good one.
intentionally make yourself look like a fool. Okay, back to baseball. Jack Leader, what do you think?
Uh,
I was
yeah,
so
I
high
love
on
it.
him at the start of the year.
I don't know. Like it might just take him some time. I don't know. Like no strikeouts from him though is weird to me.
Yeah, especially from a young guy.
Yeah. Like even like last year when we saw him 17.9% strikeout rate, this year 19. Like no strikeout stuff from him is very interesting. I don't really know. It could be like a Sandy Alcantara effect though, where it's like the stuff is really, really good, but they just don't even hunt strikeouts. Like Sandy Alcantara has raw stuff better than anybody. I mean, he throws 100, but he's never been a high strikeout guy. Just never has been.
Well, and not the best example, but Stroman was the same way when he played for the Jays. Because he
Yeah,
was all about
early
ground out.
Stroman was very good. Yeah.
Yeah. But he never struck anyone out. It was always ground outs.
I mean,
Ground
he
out,
had
ground out.
like crazy strikeout stuff in college, though, in the SEC. Obviously, that's not pros, but still, that's as premier as you're going to get. And we're looking like,
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, his last college season at Vandy, 110 innings, 180 strikeouts. Like,
Is that Jack Leiter or Stroman?
Jack Leiter, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. And then even in like the minors, double A, 81 innings, 110 strikeouts. 77 innings at AAA, 110 strikeouts. So I don't know, like, what is
What's going on here?
It's not translating. I don't know. Maybe he's too reliant on.
So he might be a good pick again next year, late round pick.
Yeah, I would assume he'll develop at some point here, definitely.
I like that. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I missed it. We didn't get to all the things I planned to talk about today, but I think we got most of them.
Yeah. Next week, when you come on, we got to go through. We'll pull up my data space and we'll go through some of my fantasy rankings for sure.
Yeah, let's do it. We got to start talking NFL here real quick.
We'll do that for sure.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks. Check out SportWise. Check out data feeds. Hit us up and support if you have any questions. We're always here for you. Your data needs.
Yeah. Back tomorrow, later stream tomorrow. I'll tweet out the time. I have a dentist appointment that I have to go to. So stream tomorrow, but it'll be later. I'll tweet out the time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.